All right, so in this problem, it says that a box flight is flying at the end of the fixed wing of string. So suppose here's like, the origin, and here's the kite. Okay, this triangle is where the angle of elevation, or the angle here, right, above, is theta equals 56 degrees. All right, and then when the gust of wind flies, the kite became 6 feet higher than the original length, and then that increased the theta to 61 degrees. So now we need to know how long the kite string is. In other words, how long is this hypotenuse? Now, let's call x the length from the ground to the kite vertically. All right, and then we're going to call this x plus 6 here because the vertical height is increased by 6 feet. Okay, and then L is just the length of the kite string. Okay, so so let's start making this equation here. Remember that sine of a certain angle is equal to the hypotenuse of the length, the hypotenuse divided by opposite divided by hypotenuse. So if you look at the first triangle here, the sine of the angle 56 is equal to the opposite of the angle here is x. So it will be x divided by the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is L. All right, now if you look at the second equation here, sine of 61, if you look at this second triangle here, is equal to the opposite of this angle, which is here, which is on this opposite, is x plus 6 divided by the length L. And notice that the length of the kite string did not change. Now, so now you're thinking, well, but how am I supposed to figure out the length if we have another variable here? Now, but here's the thing though, is that you can rearrange the second equation so that way it remains similar to the first. What do I mean by that? Well, the thing is that if you multiply by L on both sides, so times L on this side and times L on this side, you'll get L times sine of 61 is equal to x plus 6. And if you minus 6 on both sides, you can in fact get minus 6. And that is equal to x. Similarly, if you do the first one here, L times sine of 56. Notice that I times L on both sides here. Notice that x is equal to this and x is equal to that. So you just set them equal to each other. Okay, and then I'm going to expand that there. And then we're going to set x equal to here. So now x is equal to L times sine of 56. Okay, so now we could essentially say that these two are equal values. All right, so if you want to solve L, we're going to bring all the L's on one side of the equation and bring all the terms that do not have an L on the other side of the equation, and then we can factor it out. So I'm going to subtract this to here and add the 6 to there. So if I do that, and I factor the L, and notice that once you factor out the L, then you just have to divide 6 divided by sine of 61 minus sine of 56. Okay, yeah, so then the L length here is 6 divided by the sine of 61 minus the sine of 6 divided by all over sine of 61 minus sine of 56. And that's it. And that's your answer. Yeah, thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, comments and concerns or any kind of feedback, that'll be highly appreciated. Thank you.